Hello everybody, it's Scott here, and my mission to update my Pokedex has brought me to Groats, the most northern point of mainland Britain, because this is the kind of place where this week's Pokemon can be found. So join me for a very special on-location episode as we create our very own Pokedex entry, and make sure to stick around to the end where I experience what it's like to be this Pokemon. I wonder if the night tube runs from here. Oh. No night tubes, unfortunately. They don't run from zone 785. This week it's Piplup, listed as 393 in the National Pokedex. It first appeared in the Diamond, Platinum, Pearl series and is one of the starter Pokemon of the Sinnoh region. In order to register its image in the Pokedex, I'm going to create one of these tiny nanoblock models. And whilst I get on with that and see if I can hail an Uber, let's see how Piplup got its name. No roads around here. The name Piplup can be broken down into two parts, Pip and Plup. Pip is an English word with a multitude of definitions. However, the one that is pertinent to Piplup refers to the natural action of a young bird cracking out of its shell upon hatching. Plup comes from the English word plop, which is onomatopoeic of the sound a hard object makes when it's dropped into a body of liquid. Pip, plop, Piplup. As I attempt to pronounce its Japanese name, I can only apologise for any butchered pronunciation. Its Japanese name, Pochama, is derived from pocha pocha, which is the sound of a pebble splashing in the water. Its name may also incorporate the word bochama, which means child. Piplup is classified as the penguin Pokemon because of the animal, not Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot. And this is what Piplup looks like. As can be seen, quite a compact, cute little Pokemon overall. It has a blue colour scheme throughout because it's a water type. 2 little flipper wings and 2 little flipper feet, a little tail sticking out the back, and this large head with these big eyes and a little yellow beak. Now we've got all that registered, let's take a look at the real-life inspirations that went into Piplup's design. I mean, how do you get about? Piplup draws its design from a penguin. These flightless birds are widespread across the southern hemisphere and can be found in places such as New Zealand, Chile, South Africa, and Antarctica. As I said, they are flightless and they aren't that good at walking either, but they make up for this with their swimming prowess. Most species average a speed of around 4 to 7 miles per hour underwater, with the Gen 2 penguin topping 20 miles per hour. They can match this with their impressive diving skills, averaging around 800 feet for most, with one emperor penguin once clocked at 1,850 feet below the surface. The fact they spend 50% of their time underwater has fed into their evolution of their iconic look. No, they aren't all wearing tiny tuxedos, they are perfectly camouflaged against predators, with their black backs blending into the dark water below when viewed from above, and their white underbellies matching the light of the sun when viewed from underneath. But it does also mean they're always ready to turn up to an impromptu ice cream social. When compared, the similarities between Piplup and penguins become apparent. The flipper wings and flipper feet, the little beak on both, the fact they are both water types, and the difference in coloration between their head and shoulders to their bellies. So don't forget to invite Piplup to your next soiree. Water. Piplup weighs in at 11.5 pounds, around 5.2 kilos, or 211 penguin biscuit bars. Piplup stands at 1 foot 4 inches, around 0.4 meters, or 5 penguin biscuit bars tall. Quite a simple little footprint that looks like a teardrop. Now let's see how Piplup acts in the wild by doing as the Pokemon do. So the reason that I'm in Groats is because Piplup's bio says that it lives on the coasts of northern countries. So I thought I would travel all the way, and I mean all the way. You can check out the highlights of my Instagram story on my page to show you a coast of the northern country. And for those of you who do not wish to dedicate 48 hours of your life to get here, I'm going to show you what Groats is all about. John O'Groats is named after Jan de Groot, a Dutchman who in 1496 was given permission by King James IV to harbour a ferry from what is now John O'Groats all the way to the Orkney Islands, all the way out there. As you can see, there is a harbour behind me, and ferries still to this day go from John O'Groats to the Orkney Islands across the Pentland Firth, which is home to some of the most turbulent and fiercest waters in the world. Researchers have been stumped for years about the fierceness of this water, which has been observed to move rocks of up to 1.5 tons across the seabed, the occurrence of which is commemorated in this art installation. And this is the famous signpost. It appears on a lot of postcards and magnets, different signs for different directions. As you can see, we've got Orkney, 8 miles, Shetland, 152 miles, Edinburgh, 273 miles that way, New York, 3,230 miles in that direction, and Land's End, 874 miles that away, which feeds in nicely for me to bring up that this is the second time that I've visited this signpost. 7 years ago, in 2012, I was here, and with nothing but a big bag on my back and a head full of hopes and dreams, I embarked from that pier, actually, on a 6-week walk south all the way to Land's End. And when I did it, it wasn't 874 miles, it was actually 905 miles, because I detoured a few places and climbed Ben Nevis when I was there as well. And I still believe I am the only person in the world to have walked from John O'Groats to Land's End solo with no money. Did it without a penny to my name. I only ate food if people gave me food, I only slept in beds if people offered me a place to sleep, and well, I did it. And that was 7 years ago. It was the most difficult and amazing thing I have ever done. I made a video, I'll link it above and in the description below. Feel free to check it out, it's on my personal page. And if you want to hear more about it, I'm happy to chat. I've got weeks worth of stories about it, but it's nice to be here again. There are also other amenities here. We've got the hotel, tourist information centre, the Christmas shop, and of course, the chippy. Well, Piplup is a penguin, and penguins eat fish. So I'm just doing as the Pokemon does. Piplup is a penguin. Penguins also swim. Now we've got the raw data compiled, let's see what it does to our page. And that's Piplup's Pokedex entry completed. Let's just take a quick read of what its biography says. It lives along shores in northern countries. A skilled swimmer, it dives for over 10 minutes to hunt. I don't think I'd have been able to spend 10 minutes in that water.
And that is another Pokedex entry updated. Thank you so much for joining me. Is there anything new that you've learned? Is there anything that I've missed out? And would you take a journey to John O'Groats? Hopefully I've sold it to you. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and make sure to stick around because this adventure is far from over. But for now, my friends, luck and more to you all. And catch you next time.
Why are penguins hard to get along with? They're always fishing for compliments.